Hello, this is Frank Neely from HeartlandDiaryUSA.com, bringing you news every conservative can use. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date. Well, if you're like me, you probably don't know much about Marjorie Taylor Greene, the representative from Georgia, other than what you have read and been told. But she was a guest on War Room Pandemic today, and she is a very intelligent, well-spoken woman, a perfect advocate for America First. And you're going to watch her explain how she got involved in politics, give a perfect assessment of the Washington swamp as basically politics Inc. And she's going to light you on fire. I hope that this is the future of the Republican Party along with President Trump. Let's see what happens, but she certainly speaks very, very forcefully, a la Sarah Palin around 2008, 2009. I'm hoping that the movement can be regenerated again.
What happened to me is, for the first time, when President Trump stepped on the stage in a primary, in the presidential primary, the first time I heard him speak, I recognized that was someone that I could connect to. And I'd never recognized anyone in politics I could connect to. Supported him 100%.
Why the connection? What did he say that hit you in the solar plexus?
It was his view. He wasn't looking as a politician. He was running for president as an American, as a businessman, which is the part that I strongly connected to because we own a construction company. And I grew up and my dad running our construction company, and my husband and I bought it after I got out of college. And so I understood easily everything he was saying. America First policies. I've been one of those. I can't comprehend why we ever send our tax dollars to foreign countries. You know, we should be focused solely on home. And then, of course, his border wall, that was genius. But we got him elected, and then it was the first 2 years under President Trump. I mean, we had every opportunity in the world, and it was Republicans that failed us. We know who the Democrats are. We know what they're all about. We know exactly what they want to do. But when we had a Republican-controlled House, Republican-controlled Senate, and President Trump in the White House with his pen in hand begging them to produce legislation he could sign, they failed. And then we ended up with Nancy Pelosi with her gavel in the hand in 2018. And that launched me. I thought, you know, we're going to lose our country because the Republicans that we're told we're supposed to support because they will do the right things for us as conservatives, as Americans. No, they're no different than the Democrats.
So that's why you're an existential threat to this uniparty apparatus that's in this town, the permanent political class. You're a fighter, smart, tough, and not going to back down. Remember, courage is contagious, and that's what you're seeing with you, that people are getting inspired by what you're doing. I also think you have a very sophisticated way about what you're going. So walk us through. You know, the Washington Post, every day we're hearing that she's gumming up the work, she's slowing things down, she's becoming a pest. All the Republicans are complaining. They're arguing, they're complaining about walking over have to take votes. There's a method to your madness. What are you trying to accomplish by what you're doing today?
Well, you see, the media, they have a playbook, and their playbook is so easy. We see what they do. They take someone, then they spin a story that they want to tell about that person, and then they do it over and over. They link the articles in the next article, and they link them and link them and link them, and they keep producing the same story until they create a character out of someone, and that's what they did with President Trump. So they've done the same thing with me, and they're going to continue to build on it. But what they have not told people is I'm a successful businesswoman. Not only have I run a very, very strong construction company that does business in 11 different states, that means that we start at the very beginning and know how to finish a project. That's a big deal. A lot of people don't know how to finish a project. I've also started another business. It's very difficult to start a small business and be successful. I started it, made it successful, and sold it. So I'm someone that knows how to dig into every part of the process and see it through. And so what I'm doing is I know the system has to be torn down. See, politics is a business. It's an industry. It generates so much money.
And it has
have no idea.
a business model and has an internal logic to that model, correct?
Exactly. And so the swamp, so to speak, people think it's all about politics, but really what it's all about is it's an industry. It's an economy in itself. And so whether it's Republicans or Democrats, these people are here and they are invested in just keeping this industry running because their livelihood relies on it. And all of their connections and business opportunities, investments are all connected into this big, nasty pool, what we call the swamp, but it's really it's an economy.
And this is why there's not much fight. That's why when this most radical piece of legislation that comes on in 30 or 40 years, and it's got $1.9 trillion attached to it, you're the only one fighting, and actually to expose it and say, hey, let's take a step back and let's just go through what's in here so people understand, because this bill, unlike even the Equality HR 1, comes with the money attached to it. And that pays for the system. It's like having a $1.9 trillion private equity fund. You're paying for the entire system. What are you trying to do in your process over there of stopping these things and having this exposed and going through? What are you trying to specifically accomplish in exposing that business plan?
Well, what I'm trying to do is I still have an outsider view of Congress, and Congress is the operation that has us. We're about to be $30 trillion in debt. We are slowly, but now we're quickly tearing down our freedoms, eroding every single part of the American culture, our blanket. It's being just shredded to pieces. It's like America's on fire right now. And so any day we can put Congress to a stop, we are saving the country. And so here's how I look at it. We are living and breathing a woke progressive stream, an aggressive fire hose that's being just poured down our throat. The 1.9 trillion, less than 9% goes to COVID relief, and it's the entire thing is a lie. It's the Democrat wish list, it's their progressive plans, and it's setting the stage. Okay, what people aren't talking about is this is just the beginning. The next one is the infrastructure plan. That's coming up.
2 trillion to 4 trillion.
Yeah, it's going to be closer to 4 trillion. So that one's coming up. That's the Green New Deal called the infrastructure plan.
Yep.
Okay. So the news, our conservative media has got to do better. They're sitting here talking about the Royals. Nobody cares about the stupid Royals. What we need to look at is we need to look at what are the consequences of these deals. And so every Republican in Congress, while they're on their TV media, hit piece or their shows, Fox News and things, and they're messaging on their social media and they're giving their 1-minute speeches on the floor, all of that is garbage. It's complete garbage if you're not willing to follow it up with action. So to me, I'm like, our country's on fire and it's like that meme where you're sitting in there and the little dog.
Is okay.
Yeah, everything's okay.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, because I think that's probably one of the most cogent and concise ways I've heard the problem explained. This is an industry town.
Yeah.
Yes.
The industry is the problem. When you talk about tearing it down, you're not talking about the Constitution, you're not talking about America, but that's how the media portrays you, right? That's what Blue Anon is. It's the conspiracy upon conspiracy upon conspiracy that has now become mainstreamed, right?